a lot of you already know my backstory, and if you know me in real life, you most certainly know it. But then again, when I think about it, I stayed out of the way so much back when I was in my active drug addiction, simply because I was just, I guess, in my active drug addiction. But anyway, I had posted an old video on Facebook. I didn't on TikTok. It's on my TikTok page, but what I did was scroll all the way down my TikTok page and found a video from 2022 where I was at my heaviest weight, still in the gym. I was enrolled in online schooling and letting everybody know the things I was facing whenever I went like head on with my fitness journey, and I went at it aggressively. But I was facing 12 years in prison. And I also posted another video where on YouTube where I mentioned something about my husband and I being in jail together, and somebody coming in like, you and your husband were in jail at the same time. Let me rewind a minute, just in case anybody's wondering. Okay, it's like 19 years between my husband and I. But years ago, when I was a child, my husband and I have two identical twin brothers who are 11 years older than I am. They were always really good friends when I was younger and coming up. And I also graduated with my husband's daughter, my stepdaughter, Shantae. We're the same age. Anyway, so I can remember when I was about 16, my husband was in prison. But of course, this all sounds kind of weird. But anyway, I didn't really know him like that at the time. I just knew that that was my friend in school, which is my stepdaughter now. I can recall her speaking of him in class and just letting, us as her classmates know that her dad was in prison. She loved him and just, different things like that. He had got her this really, really, very pretty Rottweiler that she had. Beautiful dog. I do remember that from her birthday party as well. Her 16th birthday party, I think it was. But anyway, so my husband went to prison years ago for I had to pause this video to see how I could say this without getting in trouble. I don't want to get my accounts banned, but let's just say moving them things, okay? And if y'all know, hopefully most people will know, he did some time for that. And during I don't know if I was in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, I had also got in some trouble, petty crime, from my active drug addiction, things I done that I was not proud of. Basically, let me just put it like this, taking things that didn't belong to me, okay? Theft is what it was. But again, I'm not proud of that, but I was on some hardcore stuff, and that was just how it played out. It's a little bit more behind the story too, but anyway, so that was him going to prison, me going to prison before we got together or whatever have you. And then when we got together, I don't remember exactly how old he was, but I want to think in his late 40s. I was in my early 30s. I don't, that doesn't even sound, that's not even adding up. But anyway, it's 18 years between us. I was, well grown and everything like that, and had been out of prison maybe about a year, give or take. Like I say, when he did his prison sentence, I was a 16-year-old child, and I only knew of him through my brothers and that being their friend, and through my classmate, which is now my stepdaughter. But what happened is when him and I met, we were both in our active drug addiction, and eventually, in order to, do what we do to continue living the life that we were living, you just put it like this: a monkey can't sell bananas, okay? And that's what we were trying to do. And eventually we got caught up and got in a lot of trouble and wound up going to jail for a period of time. And we both got very lucky and blessed by God that we got a second chance. And also the state that we're from and the county that we're from is just such a blessing. And we took it and ran with it, because to be honest, my husband had been tired and was ready to get clean. But in all honesty, at the time, I was not. That was all I knew. I was crutching on it, and I just wasn't ready. But I don't know. So people ask me all the time. But and then again, when I think about it, I was tired, but I don't think I would have ever done it on my own hadn't I gotten all that trouble. So, but then again, y'all, don't go, if you know someone who's still battling a drug addiction, don't go acting or trying to get them locked up or anything, because I'm telling y'all, I've had family members do that to me in the past. have me locked up and arrested. And like I said, I actually went to prison one time and I got out, and probably 4 weeks later, if that, give or take, I was right back to my old ways. So it's not a one size fits all approach, but it was just something about this time. And also, I'm going to give all credit to Jesus and maybe somebody praying it up off of me, okay? Because I couldn't have done it on my own. I don't even know until this day, because before we got into the trouble, okay, before the law busted us, my husband once again would bring it up all the time and I'm just like, well, if you want to, you go ahead, but not me. I'm not ready, hoping that he wasn't ready, but at the same time, if he was, that was just going to be him, but I wasn't. So again, I'm going to give all praise to Jesus Christ. And again, I'm just making this video to touch on, like I say, a young lady, a lady on Facebook was just like, oh my God, there's more to your story. I need to write a book. I just posted an old video just basically demonstrating how long I stuck to it. And in 2023, how I've been consistent in the same gym, 247, still posting content, my highest weight being 247. And I just put a long caption letting everybody know this was during the time that I was fighting for my life in online college, because believe it or not, while I was fighting in court, trying to beat that 12-year prison sentence, which I took a plea. So I'm a convicted felon as well, multiple felonies, and I'm not proud of that. That's just my truth. So like someone else said, I let people know to a degree all the time that I didn't get out unscathed, because I also am very open about my a lot of my teeth not being my natural teeth. Most of the my front teeth and the top and the bottom are real, but very close on the sides. They are, it's a partial. And that is, I would love to be able to tell y'all a lie and be like, oh, it's because I had babies and they took all my calcium. No, it was for me doing bad shit, okay? Because I was, a junkie, and that was just the price that I paid behind that. So I'm not looking for pity or anything like that. It's just the truth. I don't mind taking accountability and becoming self-aware. It took a long time for me to get here and get there. It ain't a day go by that I don't wish that I had my natural teeth. But that's just the consequence behind all of my bad actions over the years and poor choices. So again, I hope that this video kind of gives anybody that just may be curious about my life a little bit of insight on it when it comes to that. And also, if you look on my TikTok page, I'm scared to repost it on Facebook, even though it's on Facebook too, but Lord knows it's probably so far down my feed. But if you want to really narrow it down, you can go to my TikTok page, and I forget what the playlist is labeled. It may be like recovery, something, you can just tell with all my drug, with, my past drug addiction and recovery and things like that. And I give a whole backstory on me and my husband, my children, and just everything about, pretty much, it's just a long story, but it's a good story, me telling about my past drug addiction, where I've been, and how I got where I'm at today. So I hope this video gives you a little bit more insight. And like I said, go watch that video if you want to know a little bit more. Eventually, I'm going to go on YouTube and make a video that I can be more comfortable with using the words and the my DOCs back then. Because I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get my accounts banned or shadow banned or anything like that with Facebook or TikTok talking too openly about things. But whether I write a book or just tell the full story unfiltered, y'all can look forward to that sometime, hopefully in the near future.